Hello everybody, welcome back to another video sewn by Nikki. Thank you for chiming in. So today we are going to do a video where I'm going to teach you about the different types of interfaces that you can use to sew your projects. So we have about six different ones that we're going to talk about today. And I'll show you some examples of what you can use them for. I know it can get confusing when you go in the store, in the fabric store, so that's what we're going to talk about today. So let's get started. Okay, so we're going to talk about these 6 different types of interface today. Okay, and they're all different price ranges, so you'll get to pick and choose. You'll be able to decide which ones you would actually like to use. The first one we're going to talk about is this. This is called fusible fleece. Okay, fusible fleece. So it feels a little thick. Okay, on one side it feels fuzzy. On the other side it has little bumps. Okay, so it feels bumpy. The texture feels completely different. Fusible fleece is used for a variety of different things. I use it as an example to create little handbags like this. Okay, it basically helps to give the bag body. Okay, it helps it to be able to stand up. It gives it some structure. Okay, and when you feel it, the bag does not feel poofy. Okay, it's the only way I can describe it. Okay, this fusible fleece means that what you're doing is taking the bumpy side, that's really the glue that makes the texture feel different. And what you're doing is you are actually ironing on this bumpy side onto the wrong side of your pattern. Okay, so that's what's done with this one here. Okay, all right, and it's meant just to thicken up the bag. The same material that I put inside of here is actually in the hand straps as well. Okay, so that's fusible fleece. And fusible fleece, you can buy this on sale, so you can get it for about $4 a yard. So the next kind of interface we're going to talk about is this one. This one is it's thinner than a cardboard, but a lot thicker than the fusible fleece. Okay, so if you can just see this, you see that it's a little bit thick. You can even hear it. Okay, this is meant for thickness. Again, one side is shiny and the other side is not. This is the shiny side. The shiny side always means the glue is on that side. Okay, shiny side means glue. I use this interface to create items such as this here, which is I use it as a phone, either a phone holder or as a sunglass case. Okay, inside of here, inside of the phone case, you can see that it's thick. This is thick. It's meant to actually give some sort of protection. Okay, so that's what's in here. But I also use it to create something like this, where I want to create a structure that is thick. Okay, and what I do with this is I create, you can put a book inside of here, but it's mainly, you know, I put pencils inside of here. But again, the whole point is that this is a book cover, and inside of this fabric, it's this interface to give it shape. Okay, so that's what's inside of here. You wouldn't use it for a lot of things, honestly. I use these other types of interface more often than I do for that particular one. Okay, we're going to talk about this now. This interface is called Insulbrite. It's Insulbrite. And inside of this Insulbrite, there's a special, it has different layers of material. I don't know if you can see it, but it looks like there's a little bit of what I can describe to be as aluminum foil. Okay, this is what is inside of your lunch packs. If you buy a lunch pack, it's meant to help keep items cold or keep items warm, hot. So it's basically meant to reflect hot and cold, but also it helps with condensation. I use this sort of interface when I make lunch packs, along with the rayon lining that I've showed before in the reusable snack bags. So this is what's lined up against, in between the outside pattern and that rayon fabric. I also use it when I'm making these. These are these are the koozies that keep cans cold. If you have a canned soda or a drink, you wrap it around your bottle, so a bottle cooler. And when you actually create that product, whatever it is you're doing, you can hear the crinkling of the material that's inside of here, that's inside. Okay, I also use it for this. This is actually what goes on the cast iron pot, so a holder, so that basically if you have one of those cast iron pans that are like 40, 50 years old, I use my dad's, so the handles get extremely hot. So I created this using the Insulbrite, in order to protect my hands so they don't get hot. Okay, so the next type of fabric we're going to talk about is apparel fabric. Apparel fabric. This is just really smooth on this side. Not apparel fabric, apparel interface. This side, it's bubbled again. Remember, the bubbled portion means the glue is adhered to that side. So apparel fabric, look how flimsy this is. Okay, so you can see I can pretty much ball it up. Okay, apparel fabric is what is if you get when you have collars on shirts, okay, the collar is a little stiffer than the rest of the shirt. It's because this apparel fabric is inside of it. Or I don't use it for bow ties, but things such as bow ties or men's ties, when you're making them, it provides a little bit of extra stiffness to the material, the apparel, so you can iron it and also be able to sew it without it stretching, without the material stretching. Okay, we're going to move on to this felt. This is probably one of my favorites because you can put felt inside of tote bags to replace fusible fleece, or you can put it in because you'll just have to sew over it just to hold it down because there's no natural glue on it. The other thing is that you can use spray, the can of spray glue, in order to connect the felt to something. I use felt in things like this, the coin purses, because I like to use all of my scraps from the interface. So you can put it into coin purses. You can put it into reusable makeup pads. Okay. Felt comes in different colors. I usually get white, but if another color is on sale, I buy the other color as well, because sometimes they have them for really cheap and no one sees inside of the bag that you're making. So go for it. When you can get it at $2 or $3 a yard, it's a definite money saver for you. Okay, so that's felt. And then we have the Pellon interface, the Pellon 809 that I've told you about before when making coin purses. Okay, so when making things such as regular coin purses, or this is a wristlet, okay, just a regular everyday wristlet, okay, or this sort of pouch, which is a zipper pouch with the boxed bottoms, okay, you can use the Pellon 809. The Pellon 809, it's thicker than Apparel fabric. Apparel fabric in the stores, they're on the pink bolt. All of the interfaces that you'll use for bags or any crafts, they're on yellow bolts. The end of the bolt is yellow. Okay, it'll say craft or home decor. Okay, so again, this is a little thicker than the Apparel fabric, than the Apparel interface. On the other side, again, we have that shininess, so you know that that's the glue part. Okay, so what I wanted to show you, oh, take a look at this. Here's the material, okay, and this here is ultimately going to become a zipper pouch that I just showed you. When you iron on the interface, you should not see any bubbles in the middle of the bag, in the middle of the item, the fabric that you're sewing. If you happen to see bubbles, it means that the interface is not sticking to your outside fabric. So clearly I've done a good job here because there are no bubbles and I can't even get it off in order to show you. Okay, so you want to make sure that that shiny side is attached to the wrong side of your fabric that you want everyone to see. Iron it down really good, no steam, but iron it down, okay? Sometimes I do put steam, but iron it down so that you don't see any bubbles, okay? And that's how you know it will be sticking, okay? What I do want to show you, keep all of your scraps, because this is what I do. I know you're probably thinking, oh, why don't you just throw that away? It looks crooked. Well, let me show you something. This is what you want to do. Save every piece of scrap that you have, because if you end up with a piece like this, this can either be the interface for hand straps on a bag, or what you do is you take it, you get it to the length of the item that you want to put it on, you cut, use the other portion to go right on the bottom. Okay, what you do not want to do is you do not want to overlap it if you end up using pieces, because that will make it thicker. This is just another, it's just another layer of fabric, but you don't want to overlap it so that it's super, super thick, because you want it to be consistent throughout the project. And then get another piece of scrap and put it on the very bottom. Okay, so you can always use the scraps. So even when you've made a big project, you've cut a big piece, save every piece, because this will save you money in the long run. 1 yard of interface, just like 1 yard of regular fabric. Let's say, for example, for zipper pouches, you can do 6 of them from 1 yard of fabric. So you'll pay about $3 for interface on sale with a coupon, but just know that that $3, you divide it by 6 zipper pouches, you know, as an example, you'll get your money's worth. It's a good deal. Okay, so that's all for interfaces right now. We went over 6 of them. If you have any questions, feel free, leave me a message down below. I'm really good about responding to messages. Subscribe to see future videos, or let me know what kind of videos you would like to see. I'm going to be using an interface in the next video when I do a zipper pouch, so you can tune into that one as well. That's all for now, so I'll see you at the next video. Bye.